take away the biggest part of me. Ooh, no, baby, please don't go. Have you ever gotten the feeling that something isn't right?
Just enjoying blanket time right now. Just enjoying blanket time right now. Ah! Yeah! Oh my!
Everyone is doing their messages to the elders that disfellowshipped Ethan Hatcher. So, I will send a message to those elders too. First of all, God, it must suck to be you. And I don't care how many brown nosers you have with the straw up your ass at the Kingdom Hall. It's gotta suck to be you right now. Especially, I know you watching these videos. You watching these videos. We all know you are. First of all, I got a real kick out of the fact that the elders had just sat down and had a movie marathon with a non-dude 2 videos. And they took notes. One of them said, I'll hold the popcorn. You take the notes. Go get me a strawberry slushie, please. Also, a ham sandwich would be nice. But, yeah! But, I would like to make video response to those elders. First of all, just an existential question here for you. No, you don't have to answer. Just a whatever. Here that I'm just wondering if Jehovah is the master of the universe and he is in control of, I don't know what's going on. I guess it's Satan's world, but the Kingdom Hall is Jehovah's world, correct? And in Jehovah's domain, he can control what happens. How can he not stop somebody with the secret recorder from going into his Kingdom Hall? You there! It was your idea for him to go there. He just showed up. You're the one that ordered him to be there. That's funny to me. But how can Jehovah not control what happens in his own Kingdom Hall? Is my thing. I never got that. How, people that have there's people have been raped in Kingdom Halls. Now I get that it's Satan's world. I get that it's Satan's world. How's somebody gonna get raped in a Kingdom Hall? How people get their private parts touched in the Kingdom Hall bathroom? How can Jehovah not stop that from happening? He's gonna bring people back from the dead, and he's gonna keep the sun from ever exploding or going supernova, and he's going to, the universe isn't going to collapse back upon itself. The expanding universe is not going to cool off because we're not going to freeze to death or our planet die because Jehovah will prevent that from happening. But he can't prevent Ethan Hatcher from bringing a hidden recording device into his Kingdom Hall. And he can't prevent little kids from getting their pee-pees looked at the urinal or touched in the bathroom stall. I don't know. It's just a question. You don't have to answer. I'm just asking around. It's, I don't know what's going on anymore. You tell me. I really don't. I don't even know what's going on anymore. People ask me the questions about, well, what do you think about this or that? I say, your guess is as good as mine. You tell me. But I would like to, the other question I have for the elders, question/response, is if Jehovah's big thing, now Jehovah, the reason all the bad things happen all the time, it's that Jehovah's purpose is to magnify his name and glorify it and have, that's like, if you ask Jehovah, if you want to get down to brass tacks, the reason that humans exist is to glorify Jehovah, to sing praises to him, to sanctify his name. Yeah. That's, if you ask, well, what are we going to do for trillions of years in the new system? They say, glorify Jehovah's name. All right. We can do it. It seems easy enough. Wouldn't that take like 5 minutes a day? No! It takes 8 hours a day. But if Jehovah is if the reason he can't concern himself with little kids getting touched in the Kingdom Hall bathroom and stuff like that, they say that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. The kingdom purpose. And the kingdom purpose is to glorify Jehovah's name. Here's the question. How come Jehovah can't keep preventing these PR disasters from happening that disgrace his name? Is my thing. Now, the judicial committee you had. Let's get real here. No. None of the Bible babble, none of the crazy talk. I'm just talking, let's get real with you here. We're just men talking, Ethan. We're just men talking. Let's get real. Since we're just men talking here. This isn't a judicial thing, it's just men talking. Just men talking. Now, you were going to have this judicial committee for the benefit of the kingdom, or the kingdom hall, or the congregation, or whatever. But, by and large, in the by and by, in the sweet by and by, friends. The idea was that the Watchtower organization is going to benefit from these judicial committees, correct? Now, of course, you realize by now that that your secret meeting was recorded and that it does not reflect very well on you, as you can see by some of the comment sections. A lot of people, irritated is probably not strong enough for a word. Enraged? Am I in the ballpark there? Yeah, enraged. Get to the point. That if Jehovah's purpose is to glorify his name, why did he allow a situation where thousands of people get to see the stuff that he supposedly wants keep secret? The Shepherd in a Flock book is secret, Ethan. How did you get that book? You know that Jehovah wanted that to be secret. What's the secret information in it? Well, it's nothing. There's no secret information in it. It's just you're not supposed to be looking at it. If Jehovah wants to glorify his name, why did he allow... No, here's the question for you. Okay, your goal was to kick out somebody from the congregation who already kicked himself out a year ago. And instead, what happens is that you embarrass yourself and disgrace your religion in front of thousands, eventually tens of thousands. Let's keep it real here. Eventually tens of thousands of people are going to see this, and I'm talking about random traffic on YouTube. So, very real estimates, tens of thousands of people are going to get turned off to the message, the truth, so that you could kick out one person who already kicked himself out. I just don't get it. You've got to feel like the world's biggest fools right now. You spent 5 hours talking to somebody that you aren't trying to convince of anything. Somebody you're trying to rid yourselves of. You spent 5 hours talking to them. He conned you. You didn't just have one judicial committee. He turned it into 2 full-length judicial committees. For somebody that said from the beginning that he didn't want to be in your congregation anymore. What did you do? I just got a real kick out of that. You spent 5 hours talking to somebody you should have spent 5 minutes talking to. And I'm just talking from a 3 a.m. I'm drunk point of view, but I'm also talking from a point of just a spectator. Somebody saying that, I don't know. I'm a pragmatic person, and just to me, if I was an elder, if I was the presiding overseer of the congregation, I would have disfellowshipped this Chumbawamba here. What is going on with this guy? Look at him. What is going on there? This guy is a real... Let me just say that, Ethan Hatcher, you are an individual. I like this guy. Don't you, folks? I just like individuals. I like people that have their own unique style and their own unique look. Also, Ethan, if you catch this video, let me say, I enjoy your colorful language. So don't let anyone discourage you from being who you are. I mean, life is too short to go through it without expressing how you feel. So don't don't let anyone make you feel bad about your expressive colloquialisms. Because, I'm sorry, sometimes you just have to say things the way they are. Sometimes the regular words they teach you in grade school just aren't good. You gotta keep being yourself, Ethan. And by the way, Ethan's a good friend of mine. And we spend many hours talking on the phone. I know he talks to many people for hours on the phone. He is an accomplished conversationalist. And let me just say that, Ethan Hatcher, you've been a treat. And this is, I know it's 3 a.m. and I must be lonely, but let me say that it's been such a treat to get to know you, Ethan. And I just want to say, first of all, this is a joint message. It's multiple choices here. First of all, you have the elders who I am giving the why and what for. And I guess what I want to say to the elders is that if I was the circuit overseer, I would be so pissed at you right now. Wow. This has been a royal screw up. If I was the circuit overseer, let me say, if you're one of the elders in Ethan's congregation there, you gotta be worried about your job security right now. Your job security is on the line. First of all, you know that the congregation has watched these judicial committee videos, and they've seen how ugly it got. You didn't answer any of his questions. You even promised you would answer some of his questions about Watchtower Society, and you lied. And listen, I'm not telling you how to do your job, but I'm saying if I was an elder, look, I don't even like the Jehovah's Witness religion anymore, and I could have defended it better than you guys did. It was terrible. No, seriously, I'm not a debate champion or anything like that, but I'm just saying, I didn't take debate in high school or anything. I'm just a regular guy, but I'm saying I could argue both sides of the issue. I got argue Ethan Hatcher side, but the thing is, I could have made up better stuff than you guys did. You guys phoned that one in. You didn't even try, and you didn't try because you didn't think anyone was listening. You didn't think anyone was ever going to hear what was happening in the back room of that Kingdom Hall. And I gotta say, it was like orange juice going down. Not just orange juice, bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit on the side. Maybe some strawberry pie for dessert. And, Ethan, what was I going to say to you? I forgot. Oh, I was going to say that, Ethan, you're, one time I yelled at you on the phone. And I want to say I'm sorry about that, Ethan. You are, and the thing was, I yelled at Ethan on the phone a while ago. We were talking about, what were we talking about? I think we were talking about Medicare or something like that. We were discussing, I don't know why, we were talking politics or something like that. And I got so stirred up, I yelled at Ethan. And Ethan, you are wise beyond your years, my friend. You really are. That you have the patience of Jehu. No, not Jehu. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah! Ethan, I just wanted to thank you for being such a patient person. And yes, Ethan gets angry just like everyone else does too, but it's controlled. Like, he'll set aside time for it. Like, he'll get in front of the camera and express his indignation or anything, where other people, it's off the cuff. You know, I can't control when I'm gonna get angry, when I'm not. I don't have any control over that. I don't know what's going on anymore. But Ethan, I just want to tell the viewers at home that one time I got I wasn't pissed at Ethan, but I just started yelling at him. I was like, "You're crazy! What is wrong with you?" I was just totally yelled at him, and this guy doesn't lose his cool. Now he shouts on camera and stuff, but Ethan, you have a style all your own, and let me tell you, not a lot of people can pull off that hat and the glasses and the flak jacket, but you do, my man. You do. I couldn't walk out of the house wearing a hat like that. It just wouldn't work. But you have a look all your own, and it works for you. I guess basically, don't change. Don't change, Ethan Hatcher. You're nice. The Christianity thing, I think it's a phase. I don't think it'll last. But I hope the rest... wait, I shouldn't have said that. But yeah, you might... I'm saying by the time you get to be my age... Look, when I was 19, I believed in stuff too. You get to be 32, you probably won't anymore. I'm sorry. If you do, more power to you. But time you get to be my age, you might be disillusioned with the world. But whatever happens, Ethan, don't lose that style, man. Because you're an original. You're an American. If I could describe Ethan Hatcher in one word, it would be American classic. And very if you have the privilege of talking to Ethan on the phone, I guess this has turned into an Ethan tribute video, but if you have the privilege of talking to Ethan on the phone, it's worth your time, friends, because let me just say that it's impossible to talk to Ethan Hatcher on the phone and not learn from him. He is so knowledgeable on so many topics, but beyond that, even if you're not interested in scholarly stuff, he is just there's just something about him that is just fascinating. I'm just fascinated by Ethan, and he's also kind to a fault. He's a very, very kind person. I know he gives Jehovah's Witnesses not drones. He's nicer to drones than I am. I don't. Some of you people are nice to drones. You say you're gonna help. You're trying to save them. I've just learned the hard way that there's the way you help when you're nice to drones. You're not helping them. You're not helping drones when you are nice to them because you're empowering them. Look, our friends. I was a Jehovah's Witness for a long time. I've been there. I've seen it. I've done it. I've done the Jehovah's Witness thing, and no. I've done the Jehovah's Witness thing, and I'll tell you that it's being nice to a Jehovah's Witness. I guess everyone has their own methods. You got to do what works for you, but it doesn't work. It's not, if your plan is to be nice to a Jehovah's Witness, to me it's the same as that Watchtower article that says battered women should just keep being nice to their husband until their husband says, "Oh, after 19 years, I am starting to come into the truth." And that happens. What? It does! You read it in the Watchtower magazine. It happens. No! You back down, Ethan. Don't you come running up on me. Let's zoom out here. Don't you come creeping on a come up. But in my experience, I almost knocked that down. In my experience, to be nice to Jehovah's Witness, you're not doing them any favors, because that's reinforcing their little world of flower. When people go out in service, they say, "Isn't it a beautiful morning? Don't you just enjoy being out here and smelling the flowers on other people's porches?" And they tell themselves that going out in field service is a pleasant experience. Yes, you can feel a door slammed in your face. Maybe a 5-year-old will tell you to screw off, but they tell themselves that it is a joyful experience and it's beautiful. Like, do you remember the cassette tape from the 90s of Jehovah's Witnesses, and the guy narrating it sounded like Winnie the Pooh? He's like an 88 88-year-old. It was an 88-year-old guy that had a mid-Atlantic accent, kind of a Cary Grant thing, but very old. And he sounded, and it was a very cutesy. I was actually at a convention one time in New Jersey where he gave a talk. It was the same old guy, and this guy was fucking ancient. This guy was a fossil. He had like two men that walked with him that like literally. He looked like a puppet where they were like, it looked like Weekend at Bernie's where they were walking or Weekend at Bernie's 2 where they were walking down the beach and they had like tied their legs to both of his so that it looked like the three of them were walking together. I don't know. It's like the Simpsons episode where Michael Jackson was trying to do the Jackson 5 thing, and he had the broomsticks with the other puppets attached to him. And no. But Jehovah's Witnesses tell themselves that it's fun being a Jehovah's Witness. It's not really fun. It sucks. It's terrible. You're in hell. You're in hell, friends. It's awful. But Jehovah's Witnesses, because they're supposed to tell themselves all the time that it's okay, being a Jehovah's Witness is fun. I'm enjoying this. It's a pleasant experience, and it's very rich and rewarding. Even if we weren't required to do this by the Watchtower Bible and Tract Corporation of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, I would still do it. And even if Jehovah had not promised us eternal life in paradise, even if this life was all that there is, this is still the best way of life. And I would still be going door to door, praising Jehovah, and selling Watchtower, or not selling, offering Watchtower magazines for a donation. A small required donation. Yes, most worldly people won't contribute to that donation, but you will pay for it out of your own pocket when you go to the literature counter. You'll cover the worldly people who you can't in good conscience ask them for money. You can't. Like, back in the 80s, they used to charge 50 cents for the Watchtower and Awake magazine. You want a book, $3, $5, whatever. Oh, Deluxe Bible? That's $9. But gold trim? You're getting into the $10, $11, $12 territory. But Bibles for sale. Paper Moon. Just kidding. But when Jehovah's Witnesses go out in service, they say, oh, I would be doing this even if Jehovah wasn't going to reward us with eternal life. If Jehovah said that all you get is your 70 years on this planet, and then you die and return to dust, I would still be going door to door with Watchtower magazine, because that is the best way of life. Friends, you can't be nice to these people. You can't. These people are in bad shape. They don't need a friend. I'm talking as an ex-Jehovah's Witness here, somebody who spent a lot of years in the field ministry. It is a misplaced kindness. It's like inviting a crack addict to go to the movies with you and then play miniature golf. It's not the right time. It's not the time or the place. You're not devaluing them as human beings. If I saw a Jehovah's Witness in a burning building, you'd run in and save them. Of course, they're a human being. They deserve the same life as you do. And I know that's why there's so much, there's people pouring out kindness to Jehovah's Witnesses. But you're not doing a favor to Jehovah's Witnesses when you are being kind to them, because kindness does not resonate with them. To them, your kindness is a sign of weakness. And anytime somebody is nice to a Jehovah's Witness, they see it as an opening. They say, this person has kindness, which is a weakness, which I can prey upon to make a placement, perhaps a Bible study. And when you are nice to a Jehovah's Witness, when you tell them, oh, thank you, well, thank you for sharing your point of view, they see it as an encouragement that they can go further. And you give them an inch, they want a mile. They want 10 miles. And no! Easy. When I was a Jehovah's Witness, I went to one of my Bible stories. I told you about this before. Went to a Bible story, and there was a Christian preacher there. And this man was not mean to me. He was not mean to me, but he wasn't nice to me. And what he did, you want to save a Jehovah's Witness, here's how you do it. Shock treatment. You have to shock them. By any means necessary. Do whatever you got to do. Say what you got to say. Get creative, friends. Shock them. You got to shock them, and you got to shock them to their core. That's what's going to wake them up. That's what woke me up. Now, see, I had, look, over the years, I had come to, when I got on YouTube, all right, people say, well, Watchtower Society makes false prophecies. No shit. You think I didn't know that? Come on. You have to shock Jehovah's Witnesses. If you're going to get through to them, you got to shake some sense into this thing. Shake it up! You have to shake them up. And if you're being nice to Jehovah's Witnesses, you are reinforcing to them that it's okay. What they're doing is okay, and you respect it. It's not okay! It's not okay to be a Jehovah's Witness, which I won't go into right now. We don't have the time, friends. Well, let's wrap this up, friends. This is getting out of control. But when you are nice to a Jehovah's Witness, you are telling them on a subliminal level that it's okay. What's going on here is okay. You have your point of view, I have mine, and since I'm the nice one here, you will probably hold sway. Because Jehovah's Witnesses, if you give them the upper hand, believe me, they will act upon it. And I'm to the community of people out there that are trying to win some words to reach their hearts, friends. I don't know. Maybe it'll work from time to time. In my experience, what gets people, you gotta shake it up! And when you shock some Jehovah's Witnesses, they might say something like, sun stand still. But they'll go home and they're going to replay their conversation with you in their mind again and again. They're going to replay that conversation and think, oh, I should have said this. I should have said this to him. Oh, let me look up some scriptures that I should have said to him. And what's going to happen is they, involuntarily, but they will have to question who they are and what they're doing. By the way, this is me talking. Do you see how the words match up? You see, I'm Ethan Hatcher right now, and I'm speaking to you right now. I'm pointing to myself, and I have a notepad in front of me. They're going to go home, and they're going to replay the conversation again in their mind. I talked to a Christian preacher, and when I left that situation, he surprised me. I didn't know he was going to be there. This Christian preacher, and he had watchtowers from the 1960s and 70s. And I was faced with the reality that I did not want to face. To be honest with you, friends, I had, from years of being a Jehovah's Witness and from seeing the dark side of it, I had, in some place in my subconscious mind, I had already come to the realization that this was not real. But I had to keep telling myself, I said, look, I don't have a choice. This is who I am. This is where I am. This is what I'm doing. I don't have a choice. This is who I am. And I use positive reinforcement on myself all the time. It was like Stuart Smalley. No! Yes! I was like Stuart Smalley. I did a daily affirmation. I really did, friends. Before I would go out in field service, I would tell them, I would look at, I would just look at the ground, just like when you see like football players praying on the bench. Let's not get that far, friends. It's not. I was just joking about that. But no, seriously, before I would go out in service, I would have to use positive reinforcement on myself to say, this makes sense. What I'm doing, I'm here doing this. Now maybe Jehovah's Witnesses aren't right about everything. Look, I had come to the realization that Armageddon was tactically not realistic, and that I can't give you an exact date, but somewhere in my 20s, I had come to the realization in the back of my mind that Armageddon has problems. And I didn't allow myself to think about it too much, but I had these creeping thoughts all the time that I said, it's just logistically, there's some real difficulties going on here. Oh, so it's just not realistic. Come on. I didn't fall off the turnip truck. But, as I said, from age 1, from age 1, it's fun to be a 1-year-old Jehovah's Witness. It's fun being a 1-year-old Jehovah's Witness. Yes, baby Gap sells suits. You didn't know that? But, I went out in service all the time because I did positive reinforcement on myself, and I told me it's okay. Jehovah's Witnesses, it's a religion. It's a religion, and this is my religion. It's like people who are Muslims or people who are whatever. You say, or people, or like during the Cold War. It's like why would you be the Russians are the bad guys? Why would you be one of the Russians? It's like, yeah, but you don't have a choice. You were born. It's like, yeah, but the Americans the good guys. The Russians are the bad guys. Why would you want to be one of the bad guys? It's like being G.I. Joe and the other guy's Cobra. Why you want to be the bad guy? It's like, look, if you were born in the Soviet Union, then that's just what side you were on. And it was the same with me, Jehovah's Witness. It's not that I had such strong... It wasn't that I felt so confident in the religion or that it just spoke to me. I was Jehovah's Witness, and I was a proselytizer. I went from door to door. I did, friends. I spent hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours going door to door, and not because... And yes, I said it was because it was the best way of life. Yes, I would do this even if there was no eternal life. I would still be proselytizing from door to door. Yes, that's the company line. But the real reason I did was because it's what I was supposed to be doing. And it was the path of least resistance for me. I was elder's son, elder's grandson, family of elders. And it's just what I was supposed to be doing. It's no different than being a Russian soldier. But, it's different. No! You will not wave your hand at me, Ethan. Back down! Don't make me jump through this TV screen. I will do it. When you are nice to Jehovah's Witness, you are not doing them any great favor. But please believe me, friends. Being nice to a Jehovah's Witness is counterproductive. Now, I'm not talking about some Jehovah's Witnesses on their deathbed. Be nice to them, whatever. But in a religion, in the forum of religious discussion, don't be nice to Jehovah's Witnesses, friends. Don't do it. Shock them. The Christian preacher I talked to, he shocked some sense into me. He said, "Wake up, son. What do you think is going on here?" He had a folder. He threw it open on the coffee table in front of me. He said, "What do you think this is? What do you think is going on here?" He wasn't mean to me. He wasn't being absolutely cruel to me. It wasn't an act of cruelty, but he was forceful and direct, and I did not enjoy the experience. I left there. It was not a pleasant departing from that experience, but I went home, and yes, Ethan, do that dance, please. Continue doing the dance. This is the best part of the video, friends. It really is. Ethan, you have style. But I went home, and I spent a lot of time thinking about what the preacher had said. Now, that preacher will never know that he got through to me. See, Jehovah's Witnesses are people that are lied to. Do you understand that? They're victims. They're people in burning house that don't believe you that the house is burning. It's that bad. It really is. These people are gonna die. Look, the Watchtower religion, it's coming to a violent end. People are going to die. There will be suicides. Hear me now, believe me later. There will be mass suicides. When the Watchtower religion falls apart, when there is no more live forever in paradise on earth, people will commit suicide. People will hang themselves. People you know. People you know will go into their garage with their kids and close the garage door and leave the car running. And you'll read about it in the paper. They'll put their heads in the oven. People are going to die. This is not the time to be nice to people. You want to save a Jehovah's Witness, you got to get through to them. Now, I was a Jehovah's Witness for a quarter of a century before I heard of 1975. Never heard of it. Believe it or not, it's not something that's discussed at Kingdom Halls. It's a taboo subject. And even people who know about the subject intricately are not going to ever bring it up or discuss it. It is forbidden in the Kingdom Hall. You do not discuss 1975, and if it is brought up, you will be talked to by the elders. You will be dealt with. But a preacher who accosted me. I didn't expect to see this preacher there. He surprised me. And he forced me. He forced himself upon me. He forced my eyes upon 1975. It was in 1968 Watchtower. He had a folder full of clippings from Watchtower magazines, a folder full of them, and I kept trying to look away, but I would look away, but then I would look back down again. I didn't want to see it, but I had to see it, and I left. And that was a big one for me, friends. I was never the same after that. I really wasn't. And I was a Jehovah's Witness for years after that. A few more years. About 3 or 4 more years I was a Jehovah's Witness. But I unraveled. I unraveled after that. And what kept me going was outside concern. Mostly my girlfriend. I didn't want to lose my girlfriend. But that's mostly what kept me going after that. And I'm sorry, Jehovah Cat. How did Jehovah Cat open a can of... He opened a can of soda! Friends, how did he do that? Did you hear that? Okay. But we'll call it a night, friends. We won't go any further, but Ethan, thank you, my friend. Thank you for all the good times we spent on the phone. And pleasant good morning to all of you. It's Sunday morning. Be sure to watch Good Morning America, starring Katie Couric. And nah, she's not on there anymore. Who's on there? I think somebody from it seems like somebody from The View is on there. Who is on there now? It's some woman that she looks like she was like on a 90s sitcom, but now she's a TV anchor. I enjoy it, friends. And we will see you at McDonald's for hotcakes with sausage. See you then, friends. This is the video, This is, I don't know. But, down here, let's go.
If everyone became a JW, you say that they would all need to become pioneers. That is very dishonest.
Wait a minute. It's okay not to be a pioneer? Because when I went to the Kingdom Hall, there was a lot of people that aren't pioneers. but you have to have a reason not to be a pioneer. And usually the reason was, I have so many financial obligations that I have to work 2 jobs to pay for my Acura. To pay for my Honda Civic. There's a Toyota Tercel with my name written on it. And so, just to double check. My understanding is that everyone is supposed to be pioneering, and only those that say, I have 3 children that I must drive to school. You have to have a reason not to be pioneer, correct? You can't just say, oh, I do have the time to pioneer, I just don't want to. Is there a new light? That is very dishonest. That is very dishonest. Let's be real. I've been to 10,000 Kingdom Hall meetings. Don't tell me you're not supposed to be a pioneer. Come on. Don't pee on my windshield and tell me it's raining. I've been there.
JW's pioneer because they try to get others to learn the message. If all in the world accept the message, there would be no need for anyone to pioneer, because all would know the message. Even though that would be an unreal expectation, because some unwillingly support the devil even though they know the devil is wrong. No JWs believe the whole world would accept the message the Bible foretold.
See, here we have the crux of the situation, my friends, that
I don't see what's going on. This man makes perfect sense to me. Yes, you're supposed to go out and service because you want to share the message with everyone at the doors, but first of all, bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits are only $3.29 at McDonald's. I don't see why you didn't bring me one back.
And if there's, you go door to door. Okay, let's stop here, friends. I think some people are having difficulty comprehending where I'm coming from on this.
Brother's just trying to tell you where he's coming from.
Now imagine a mother has a kindergartner, and she tells the kindergartner, you're going to be spanked today at 3 o'clock. And the kindergartner says, but why, mother? But why? And she says, at 2:30, I'm going to ask you to stop doing something, but you won't listen to me. And therefore, I shall spank you at 3 o'clock. And the little boy says, but mother, perhaps I will listen to you and stop doing what I'm doing. And the boy's mother said, I have already put my foot down and made the decision. You will be spanked at 3 o'clock promptly. Will come at an hour you do not think. No, just kidding. It will be at 3 o'clock. And the little boy says, but mother, if you've already decided to spank me at 3 o'clock, then why bother telling me to stop what I'm doing at 2:30? It's already been predetermined to happen. The problem is, I see this as a problem, friends. Apparently some of you don't. Some of you don't apparently have difficulty reconciling this in your mind. Jehovah says he wants the world to turn around and repent and become Jehovah's Witnesses, but Watchtower magazine already guarantees that's impossible to happen. It's a mixed message. Jehovah is going to punish the world for not becoming Jehovah's Witness, but he already said thousands of years ago that it's not going to happen, so it's impossible. So why is the human race going to be punished for something that Jehovah already guaranteed is not going to happen? Here's the larger problem I've always had difficulty with, even when I was going door to door. It didn't make sense to me. That how can people be judged when you go to their door? You're a stranger. You show up on their porch. They don't know you from Adam. And you have a magazine in your hand that's published by some corporation that has some person waterboating on the cover or some weird thing going on. There's always somebody like standing on a porch sweeping with a broom or some ridiculous thing on the cover there, and some asinine question about what does the environment mean to you, or something that people say, what? Are you out of your mind? How dare you ask me that question? Here's the thing, folks, is when people open their doors and they see somebody with a suit standing there holding up a magazine, they assume you're a salesman. And you make a 90-second pitch. How could someone's trillions of years of life and their fate hang in the balance be determined by a stranger showing up in their door, especially since this is Satan's world, and you're not supposed to trust strangers? And you'd be a fool to take somebody at their word when you don't even know their name. You don't know their name, you don't know who they are, where they came from. But Jehovah judges, people are going to die based upon whether or not they receive a stranger at their door who wants them to take something from them. Now, Jehovah, if you're up there in the sky watching this, I guess this question is for, technically this question is for this genius right here. Something 1986. Let me just say, you are a rich dessert that we all enjoy. But thank you for being here. This has been a wonderful experience, and I've learned so much from you. But Jehovah, the thing is that you prophesied that mankind, by and large, will reject the message of Jehovah's Witnesses. No shit, Sherlock. It doesn't matter what the message is. The message could be free breakfast at Denny's for life. And people are still going to reject it because it's delivered by a stranger who knocks on the door when you're breastfeeding. They catch you off guard. Don't you get that? Jehovah's Witnesses you don't get some postcard in the mail saying, by the way, there's going to be a strange person showing up at your door, and they may look like a basket case. They may be wearing some kooky sweater or some suit from the 1970s. And you may say, and they're going to have some book bag full of magazines that it looks like they're selling. And yes, they're going to tell you in a roundabout way that they do want money from you. There's not a price tag written. It's confusing. There's not a price tag on the magazine, but in a roundabout way, after they hand you the magazine, they'll kind of use, in a very passive-aggressive way, I've turned passive-aggressive into one word. Just progressive. In a very progressive way. We're getting progressive, friends. They will let you know that after they've put the magazine in your hands, they will let you know that you do kind of owe us some money now. It's up to you, but if you don't give, it's like watching PBS and not sending a check to it. It's not right. My thing, Jehovah, is that, I can prophesy the future too. Here's the thing. If I lived 2,000 years ago, guess what? I could predict that someday, based on the kooky writings of the Bible, which is the big thing now, that there's going to be a cult following for it, and that someone is going to prey upon the willing, the sheep-like ones. Look, this is bing, bang, boom stuff. It's a revelation to John. Yeah, I can do the same thing. If I was sitting on the island of Acropolis or whatever the fuck it is, I could sit there with a book and make some guesstimations about the future too. Yeah, Jesus, the Christ who you impaled. I'm looking 2,000 years down the future, and that you're going to have a religion on your hands. And there's going to be variations of that religion. It's going to break off into
It's going to segment into different branches, different beliefs. They're going to even combat with each other. Wow, a revelation to John. Yeah. Am I in the ballpark? Yeah. Yeah, you're in the ballpark. John. Can I call you John? You prefer John or Jimmy? And then you're sitting there writing your scrolls. And we did use scrolls back then. Because no one had ever thought about folding a piece of paper in half and turning it into a magazine. That didn't happen until Watchtower. We used to have 2 fucking egg beaters on the... What are the fucker? Rolling pins. And you roll them out and you have a scroll. Nicely done. Nicely done. No wonder you people lived in your own fucking shit. You lived in pig shit. They didn't have skyscrapers back then? I'm shocked. But guess what? The guy's sitting there and he writes a letter to the future. And guess what? If I was sitting back there then too, I think I can make some pretty good guesses too and realize that someday there's going to be a group of people who incorporate themselves into a corporation. And that this corporation will, in time, send the sheep-like ones from person to person asking for money. And that this message, by and large, will be rejected. Religious fanatics being rejected by strangers when they walk up to them? Truly, this was a revelation to John. And that, how did you do it, friends? And that this magical vision into the future has come into fulfillment. It's a miracle, because who would have guessed that religious fanatics showing up at people's doorsteps would be rejected by and large, and that only a small number would accept the message? That's incredible. Also, it is a real work of genius. It's a prophecy. John, how did you guess that the human race would come to the brink of destruction one day? That is a miracle. Because, yes, I have also lived among the human race, and I never would have guessed that someday they would create a way to destroy themselves and the entire planet. They say, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. The kingdom purpose.
And the kingdom purpose is to glorify Jehovah's name. Here's the question. How come Jehovah can't keep preventing these PR disasters from happening that disgrace his name? Is my thing. Now, the judicial committee you had. Let's get real here. No. None of the Bible babble, none of the crazy talk. I'm just talking, let's get real with you here. We're just men talking, Ethan. We're just men talking. Let's get real. Since we're just men talking here. This isn't a judicial thing, it's just men talking. Just men talking. Now, you were going to have this judicial committee for the benefit of the kingdom, or the kingdom hall, or the congregation, or whatever. But, by and large, in the by and by, in the sweet by and by, friends. The idea was that the Watchtower organization is going to benefit from it anymore. You tell me. I really don't. I don't even know what's going on anymore. People ask me the questions about, well, what do you think about this or that? I say, your guess is as good as mine. You tell me. But I would like to. The other question I have for the elders, question/response, is if Jehovah's big thing. Now, Jehovah, the reason all the bad things happen all the time, it's that Jehovah's purpose is to magnify his name and glorify it and have. That's like, if you ask Jehovah, if you want to get down to brass tacks, the reason that humans exist is to glorify Jehovah, to sing praises to him, to sanctify his name. Yeah. That's, if you ask, well, what are we going to do for trillions of years in the new system? They say, glorify Jehovah's name. All right. We can do it. It seems easy enough. Wouldn't that take like 5 minutes a day? No! It takes 8 hours a day. But if Jehovah is if the reason he can't concern himself with little kids getting touched in the Kingdom Hall bathroom and stuff like that.
Leave me now, take away the biggest part of me. Ooh, no, baby, please don't go. Have you ever gotten the feeling that something isn't right?
Just enjoying blanket time right now. Just enjoying blanket time right now. Ah! Yeah! Oh my!
Everyone is doing their messages to the elders that disfellowshipped Ethan Hatcher. So I will send a message to those elders too. First of all, God, it must suck to be you. And I don't care how many brown nosers you have with the straw up your ass at the Kingdom Hall. It's gotta suck to be you right now. Especially, I know you watching these. For him to go there, he just showed up. You're the one that ordered him to be there. That's funny to me. But how can Jehovah not control what happens in his own Kingdom Hall, is my thing. I never got that. How, people that have been raped in Kingdom Halls. Now, I get that it's Satan's world. I get that it's Satan's world. How's somebody gonna get raped in a Kingdom Hall? How people get their private parts touched in the Kingdom Hall bathroom? How can Jehovah not stop that from happening? He's going to bring people back from the dead, and he's going to keep the sun from ever exploding or going supernova, and he's going to... the universe isn't going to collapse back upon itself. The expanding universe is not going to cool off because... We're not going to freeze to death because... Or our planet die because Jehovah will prevent that from happening. But he can't prevent Ethan Hatcher from bringing a hidden recording device into his Kingdom Hall. And he can't prevent little kids from getting their pee-pees looked at the urinal or touched in the bathroom stall. I don't know. It's just a question. You don't have to answer. I'm just asking around. It's, I don't know what's going on. Videos. You watching these videos. We all know you are. First of all, I got a real kick out of the fact that the elders had just sat down and had a movie marathon with a non-dude 2 videos. And they took notes. One of them said, I'll hold the popcorn. You take the notes. Go get me a strawberry slushie, please. Also, a ham sandwich would be nice. But, yeah! But, I would like to make video response to those elders. First of all, just an existential question here for you. No, you don't have to answer. Just a whatever. Here that I'm just wondering if Jehovah is the master of the universe and he is in control of I don't know what's going on. I guess it's Satan's world, but the Kingdom Hall is Jehovah's world, correct? And in Jehovah's domain, he can control what happens. How can he not stop somebody with the secret recorder from going into his Kingdom Hall? You there! It was your idea for